Hi friends, it's Morah Brachie here. Today we're going to learn more about kosher. So, last time we spoke about kosher animals. What were kosher animals? And what made them kosher, right? There were different signs to tell. Well, guess what? Today we're going to learn all about milk and meat and what makes it kosher or not. So, we're going to start with meat. Meat is what comes from the animals, the meat of the animals, or the bones of the animals. That's what makes it fleischig. Fleischig is meat. And things like that can be steak, or chicken, or even hot dogs or salami. Things like that is fleischig. Or even meatballs and spaghetti, right? Those yummy things, those are fleischig because they're meat. And if you have meat, then you have to wait 6 hours. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 hours before you can have dairy, which I'm going to talk to you about in 1 minute. But that is meat. And anything made with meat also is fleischig. So if you want to make a gravy to put on your chicken or a yummy sauce, well then, if you make it with some chicken fat or anything that's fleischig, then that becomes meat itself. That becomes fleischig, and you cannot eat that with dairy. And you have to wait 6 hours. Well, that's for meat, but what about dairy? Dairy is products that come from the animals. They're not the meat or bones themselves, but they're things that come out of the animals, like milk, right? A cow can give milk, and that is dairy. Or butter. You can make butter. And even cheese or yogurt. These are dairy products. And these are dairy things that if you eat it, or you eat anything that is made out of dairy, like if you have a cake and you want to make a frosting, and you want to make a cream cheese frosting, that's dairy. Or if you want to eat pizza or anything that's dairy, then you have to wait 1 hour. You don't have to wait 6 hours, but you have to wait 1 hour before you can have meat again. And that's for dairy. Now, what about foods that are not meat? They're not fleischig. They're not dairy. They're not milchig. What about those foods? Those foods are called pariv. Pariv foods are like fruits and vegetables. They don't come from animals, right? And they grow from the ground. These are things that you can eat with either meat or dairy. And those are things like fruits and vegetables and pastas and rice and bread, all different grains, but also eggs and fish. That might be a bit confusing because eggs, where do they come from? They come from chickens, right? But you're not eating the actual chicken. You're eating an egg that comes from the chicken, and that's pariv. And fish are also pariv. And you can have fish with dairy if you want. But we don't eat it, even though we don't eat it with meat, not because we're just not allowed to mix it, but it's because it's dangerous and it's not healthy to have fish and meat together. So we don't eat it together, but it's still pariv. That means if you have any of these things, even if you have fish and you finished eating, but 1 hour later, or if you want to have it in 5 minutes or 10 minutes, you see, I see a really yummy piece of steak that I want to eat. Really yummy meatballs and spaghetti. You're allowed to eat it because you didn't mix it together. So you're still allowed to eat it. And those are part of things. But something about fruits and vegetables. Well, friends, we're not allowed to eat bugs. And guess what? Many times, little bugs or little worms, they like to go inside fruits and vegetables. So, what do we do to make sure not to eat them? We have to make sure to check them and wash them really, really well to make sure that we don't end up eating bugs. And that's really important. Now, friends, sometimes we have eggs. And inside our eggs, we're going to crack it open. We want to make ourselves an egg. Or maybe you want to put eggs in a cake. Or there's so many things you can do with eggs. But you cracked it open. And oh my goodness, what did you find inside that egg? I see. A red spot. Do you know what that red spot is called? It's called a blood spot. And we're not allowed to eat blood spots. So if we find a red spot in the yolk of our egg, then we cannot eat it and we have to throw it away. But if we don't, and it's all clear, and there's no red spot, then that's a perfect egg and you can eat it. Now friends, what if you go to the supermarket? I love going to the supermarket and I want to buy some food. How do I know if it's kosher? Some things come in packages. Many things come in packages. And we want to know if it's kosher. So many times it will have a kosher symbol, a kosher sign. And these are some signs of the kosher signs that there are. And when you go shopping and you want to buy something, maybe a bag of chips, or you want to buy some bread, or you want to buy a can of tuna, or even cheese or anything, guess what? You're going to find some of these symbols, some of these signs on the package. And if you see any of these signs, an OU, a cuff and a K, or OK, then you know that it's kosher and you can eat it and you can take it home. But if you don't see any kosher symbol, then most of the time it's probably not kosher and we can't eat it. So friends, thank you for joining me today and learning all about kosher, and I will see you next time. Bye.